The session overview. What is Six Sigma performance? Straight away, the question getting answered. What is Six Sigma performance? And then operational excellence. This is often talked in the business environment. So we are going to gain a clarity. What is operational excellence? And this topic I picked up from a famous book written by Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So how can we equip ourselves so that we can demonstrate similar skill set in our workplace, right? We are going to understand that. And 6 prime reasons for failure, project failure. If a project is failing, what are those reasons? So that we can at least take some, preventive measures to ensure our project doesn't, fall. And why 6 Sigma skill sets are required. And 4 important steps to quality, process approach, history of 6 Sigma, and then DMAC methodology and the tools, belt levels, followed by your question answers. So the first point, what is 6 Sigma performance? To understand 6 Sigma performance, let's take the case of the Dabbawalas in Mumbai. We all know Mumbai, right? It's a very good city where near about 20 plus millions of people live. And in the same city, there are about a team of 5,000 people who are called Dabbawalas. You know what they do? They do a service by which they carry your lunch bags. They collect your lunch bag from your house and then bring it to your office and then again collect it back in the evening and hand it over to your house. This is what, their job is. So these 5,000 people, they carry about 2 lakh lunch bags every single day. 5,000 people, they carry 2 lakh lunch bags every single day. So, their level of performance. Their level of performance is 1 mistake in 16 million transactions. You all know 16 million, right? So nearly 1.6 crores of transaction. How many mistakes they make? Just 1 mistake. How is this possible? And all these peoples are not, not even educated. You can see. They carry their, sometimes they carry their, all the bags in their hand. Sometimes they use cycle. Sometimes they use tricycle. Sometimes they go by auto. Sometimes they go by bus. They go by train. They do all of this. Process is very complex. But still, your food bag arrives your place at the right time in the right condition. Can I consider this as a, performance way above 6 Sigma? Is it better than a 6 Sigma performance? Absolutely.
Yes.
And this, in fact, even got highlighted in one of the magazine known as Forbes. They have given the credit. They have recognized their work and they highlighted as their performance is even, well above the 6 Sigma performance. So they are not bells, they are not trained, they are not even educated, but still, what is the secret? How could they perform to such a level? Any suggestion here? Any point here from the participants? How is it possible? How is it made possible?
So they have this process in the place where they color codify their dabbas.
Fantastic, fantastic. There is a process in place. Though people are not brilliant enough, your process is brilliant enough. Am I right? They had a brilliant process, but people are average, even below average. The same thing is what we are going to make it happen after becoming a belt in our workplace. You really don't require brilliant people. Even average people will do. But we are going to focus on the process. We'll make our process brilliant enough. Thereby, defects will become impossible. Defects, we are going to make defects impossible in our business process. This thinking is known as 6 Sigma. All right. So the traditional Dabbawala story we know. On the other side, we have the modern Dabbawalas. Zomato and Swiggy, and there are many other names coming on. So what do? They do bring your food, but not from your house, but from the nearby hotel. And they are also striving to achieve, perfection, because Six Sigma is all about perfection, accuracy in what we are doing. Whatever we plan, exactly that will happen, right? So that's the, Six Sigma approach. So these companies also want to achieve that. And for them, can you tell me what is their, how can we measure their performance? One thing is timely delivery, same like Dabbawala, timely delivery. And then other thing is the food should reach you
Fresh
in
before
safe.
time.
I mean,
The
yes,
right person.
yeah, it should arrive in a
Delivering right food to the right person.
yes, right person, and then it
It
should
should
be
not be damaged.
right
Proper
condition
packaging.
without damage,
Deliver
and the
return
person,
on time.
and the delivery person should behave properly. So these are certain, characteristics which we all expect from these companies. So these characteristics, if the company can take care, the company should grow according to the law of nature, because they are really performing well with respect to the characteristics which you want, and so they must grow, the survival of the fittest, right? So these characteristics are known as CTQs in Six Sigma. Critical to quality characteristics. You expect certain things, and those are defined. In this case, it is the timely delivery and the proper packaging, and another thing is the behavioral aspect of the delivery boy. If these three things can be taken care, and definitely the business can definitely grow, and you can even scale up the business to any extent. That's why we see these people everywhere, right? And I call them as the modern Dabbawalas. And what do you think their performance in terms of the CTQs we just discussed? Are they performing at Six Sigma level?
No, not exactly.
No.
May or may not be. We really have to measure, because Six Sigma, there is a benchmark performance. In order to say your performance is Six Sigma, the defects rate should be lesser than 3.4 DPMO. This way of defining Six Sigma is easy to understand. The performance should be lesser than 3.4. I mean, the defect rate should be lesser than 3.4 DPMO. DPMO stands for defects per million opportunities. Every single delivery that is happening, how many opportunities for a failure exist? Just now we discussed 3 opportunities, isn't it? Food can come delayed. If the food arrives late, that's the first failure or first defect. Can I say like that?
Yes. Yes.
Suppose if the food packet is completely damaged, the sambar, chutney and everything is readily mixed up for you. You don't like it. You want to mix it by yourself, isn't it? But if the packet is damaged, all these things can happen, on the transit itself. And this is second defect. The third defect, the person should, be polite, and then, should behave nicely, if at all you interact. So how many defect opportunity exist in this case?
3.
3.
Three.
If you want, you can add a few more also. But we are, for discussion sake, we have 3. So this is called defect opportunity. Every delivery that is happening, there are 3 opportunities for defect to happen. If 100 deliveries are happening, then how many opportunities are possible? Simple question.
300.
300. 1 defect, 3 opportunities. So, 1 delivery, 3 opportunity. So 100 delivery, 300 opportunity. So we just understood the defect opportunity, and then for a particular scenario, the total number of opportunities. And we just want to calculate what is the DPMO, defects per million opportunities. If there are million opportunities created, how often or how many times your process fails, or how many defects happens in your process? This is the way by which we are going to measure the brilliance of our process. If the DPMO is found to be lesser than 3.4, which means only 3 or 4 defects can happen out of 1 million opportunities. out of 1 million opportunities, that is 10 lakh opportunities, at the max, 3 defects will happen or 4 defects will happen. Such a performance is known as Six Sigma performance. The definition is based on a metric, DPMO. All of you, are you thorough with this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now what is required is, in order to understand the Sigma level of your business process, what you need to understand is, you need to understand the CTQ first. What is CTQ?
Critical
Critical to
quality.
quality characteristic. We have named one of the team as CTQ, right? So the expansion is this: critical to quality characteristics. Nothing but the specifications of your product, nothing but the specifications of your service. For a bank,
Interesting.
the interest rate is one of the CTQ. Am I right? If you are purchasing a loan or if you are buying a loan, you often look at the interest rate. Interest rate acts as the CTQ. If other bank is giving a lower interest rate, you probably go there. If the specifications are better, customer will buy your product. So you need to know the CTQ, and then once the CTQs are clear, you can define the defect opportunities, and then you can do some study 100 products or study 1,000 products, and then you get to know your Sigma level. And now look at the products here. Do you think in a shirt there are specifications, there are defects possible? You buy a shirt, there are defects possible. You can write down all the defects. Button can go wrong, stitches can go wrong, the cloth
Fade
can
in
go wrong.
color.
Color can become faded. There can be some stains on the dress. All of these are defect opportunities. How are you going to, have a process which is brilliant enough so that every garment that is coming out of your factory is free from all of these defects, right? And that's the thinking. This is called, process development. If you develop a process in a way that defects are impossible, then definitely you can call the process as Six Sigma process, right? And the benchmark reference given by Bill Smith and Dr. Michael Harry, they are the engineer, and the one is an engineer, the other one is a statistician, both worked for Motorola. They set this benchmark. If it is lesser than 3.4, then you can proudly call your process as a Six Sigma process. And this must be calculated for each and every CTQ. Right? For each and every CTQ. All right. So now for a shirt, we know what is a defect. Similarly, can defects are possible in a chair you are sitting? Broken arm, isn't it? The broken wheel, the broken legs, and the cushion has some problem. All of these are known as defects. First thing to do is, you should define the defect opportunities in any product. All right. Define the defect opportunity. There can be 10 defects that are possible. There can be 20 defects that are possible. If you don't visualize properly, then your customer will point all of this. Then you will be in trouble and your whole business will be in trouble. That's why you have to proactively do certain things, right? And similarly, the third product. This is a glass. Your car windshield. Do you think your car windshield will have some CTQs, critical to quality characteristics?
Yes.
What are the customer requirement? One should be able to, have a clear vision.
Visibility, yeah.
The road or whatever through the windshield. It should, first of all, the vision must be clear. Then
It should have UV protection.
UV protection, okay, that's a customer requirement. So UV protection, how good it is in terms of protecting the UV rays? Very good. It should have,
Toughness should be good.
yeah, it should have the desired level of toughness. Very good.
Insulation as well.
Preferably scratch proof.
Scratch free. Customer doesn't want your windshield to get too many scratches in a short time. So it should be scratch free. So
Yeah,
these
proper shape or flushness should be good, right?
proper shape, dimension, and all of this, right? So once you understand the customer requirement, then you start understanding the CTQs. One requirement of the customer can lead to multiple CTQs. Somebody said toughness. And in order to achieve the required level of toughness, the thickness may be an important criteria, isn't it? Its thickness matters, and the composition of the ingredients matters. All of this. So one requirement can lead to many CTQ. You just have to monitor and control several CTQs to ensure one of the customer requirement is fulfilled, right? So this is called a drill down process, CTQ drill down process. Customer just mentioned something, but when you drill it down, it leads to many CTQs, and all these CTQs your process, should be able to take proper care of. All right. So we understood defects here. Defects simply means
Just
non-
a little question here.
please.
Now it could be specific to the example that we just saw of the class, but in general, I'm asking that if a CTQ, like multiple CTQs can be interrelated, right?
Yes.
Like for example, you just mentioned the thickness of the glass could have impact on the other CTQs, like the mileage of a vehicle. You know,
Yes.
thicker the glass, it will increase on the weight and all
Correct.
those things. So how do we strike a right balance is another challenge.
Very good. Very good. So this is called, correlation. So
Mhm.
one has relationship with the other.
Yeah.
If I work on one factor, then I may have to compromise on other factor.
Yeah.
So now you have to make the compromise in a wise manner, in a way that still your product stands out in the market. That's the goal.
Hmm.
Say, for example, I want, my vehicle to have, a good pickup. Within 5 seconds, it should reach 100 kilometers.
Hmm.
At the same time, customer wants mileage.
Hmm.
So this is something you need to take it up during your QFT,
Mhm.
which is most important to the customer. That should be given the preference, right? That should be given the preference, because the whole game is, prioritizing well, which is most important. And then after fulfilling that, what your competitors are doing, can I stay a little above? That's the best you can do for your product. Now your product should sell,
Right.
right? So we will be dealing those aspects in detail. So we are talking about CTQ, and for all these products, we understood the defects. There is one more terminology known as defective. So how is it different from a defect? Can anybody answer this question? Because-
Defective is a common terminology of all the means an item comprising of multiple defects,
Hmm.
and it is not usable or saleable, right? And it has actually broken the quality
Excellent.
parameter. Yeah.
Excellent understanding. An item has one or more defects, but in the current condition, it is not saleable. And you can't do anything about it. You can't correct it. Isn't it? So what do you do? What do? You decide to reject the product outright. Like morning breakfast. Idli was prepared and idli did not come up well. Now what will you decide to do? Will you remake the idli? No. You just, scrap it. So that means it is now a defective item. You can't do anything about it, isn't it? So presence of one or more defects in a product can make the product become a defective one, right? Even you can't rework it. If you can do something about it, you can still, call it, there are some defects present in the product. You can put it under defect category. But if you can't do anything, then you have to put it under defective category. Hope it is clear to all of you.
I have a question. Actually, this defect should be tangible or intangible? Because I think if you would like to go for some preference criteria, so you have to think of it under tangible defects. But if it's intangible, then how do you measure it? How to go for the CTQ then?
Oh, tangible, intangible. Both, first of all, you must try to drill down. You must drill down, first of all, right? And then at least if you can't make it measurable, at least make it specific. If you can't make it measurable, at least make it specific. Say for example, the delivery boy's behavior is not measurable. There is no instrument. But still we can measure it, right?
Because I have told you, because during the last example, what you showing that there is delivery from Swiggy or the Zomato, I am finding there are a lot of accidents that are taking place during the delivery of the on time. So that is not the criteria for the measurement. That should be taken as a consideration for the correct delivery, because they are doing a lot of accident nuisance in the roads during the delivery on time. That is the maybe the person's measurements, but it's intangible. That should be taken care for the.
I understand
CTQ
your
actually.
concern about the delivery boy's challenges when he is
Yeah.
trying to do a service to you, isn't it?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then we have to first of all have a proper clarity. We are here to talk about, learn. We are here to learn problem solving methodology. Am I right?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
First of all, we
Uh,
should understand what is a problem.
Yeah,
We should be
Gopal sir,
able to
Bharat this side.
differentiate.
Yeah. Sir, I had a query here, just basis the doubt.
1 minute. Bharat, let me first answer Shyamal's point. I may forget. So we should be able to differentiate between problem and solution. Am I correct? Sometimes we mix up problem with the solution and solution with the problem. Yes or no?
Yes, yes, correct.
We have to have a proper clarity between what is a problem and what is a solution. We are going to have all of those. And there are causes that are triggering the problem. That is completely different from these two. Am I right? Problem is one thing, solution is other thing. Causes. Again, within the causes, only certain factor we are going to call them as root causes. It may be a cause, it might have caused the problem, but then in the given context, only a specific factor has triggered the problem. That we are going to call it as root cause. So what I am trying to say here is, let us not mix up too many things. Right? When we mix up too many things, we will be in a state of complete confusion. So probably Shyamal goes, you can ask the same question little later. Yes, there will be challenges on the traffic due to traffic. There can be a rain that is happening. You need to know, what am I concerned about right now? Am I concerned about the problem? Am I concerned about the solution? Am I concerned about the causes? And similarly, whether the metric we are talking about is an X variable or a Y variable. We are going to, and similarly, whatever it is, you should also ask yourself whether it is controllable or uncontrollable. If it is uncontrollable, you don't have to do anything, isn't it? But it is controllable within your influence, then you need to do something about it. Is it road traffic and strike on the road coming under the scope of Swiggy or Zomato's business?
That is not under the jurisdiction actually. Yeah, that is a completely independent factor actually.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be a trouble in your business, but then you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So we need to have this thinking. So probably if you understand all of this, and you will be able to streamline your questions, right? So
Yeah.
maybe we can take it the same question at a later stage.
Okay.
So, I'm trying to ask the question. Who is that? Yes.
Yes, sir. So actually, I was just trying to just ask that while defining the CTQs, should we also plan any kind of, say, unnatural or some kind of, say, there could be any operational related, logistics related, as you said, traffic, or there could be any execution related issues, or there could be an affordability, also a parameter actually where that particular market, you may be defining a quality parameter which is much higher. But if the audience like Tata Nano was a very economic car, but it did not sell because there are multiple parameters in spite of being affordable. So does affordability also come into definition of CTQ, or
Yeah.
this and this unplanned or things which are not in our control? Like it could be a natural calamity, or just that could be an accident. Like 1% of deliveries could be impacted because of unforeseen situations. Those things are also considered the DPMO percentage, or they are kept outside?
Yeah. So we calculate DPMO with respect to the customer's perspective. Customer's perspective, right? When I say CTQ, critical to quality characteristics, critical to customer requirement. Critical to customer requirement. At the same time, customer may not know all the CTQs because CTQs are technical in nature, isn't it? CTQs are technical in nature. The diameter, customer doesn't know, diameter plays an important role in the product. Am I right or not? but diameter is a CTQ. But we derive all the CTQs from the customer requirement only. Am I correct? We derive all the CTQ from the customer requirement only. After fulfilling the customer's viewpoint, you should also fulfill the business viewpoint, isn't it? The product you should make your business profitable. That means you have to have your operations very efficient. Am I right? What is the point of producing, best-in-class product in a highly inefficient manner? Customer will be happy with your product, but you still under loss. Possible or not? Yes, sir.
Yes.
There is customer requirement, there is business requirement. If you understand the customer requirement, you end up producing a quality product. If you also understand the business requirement, you end up running a profitable business. Yes or no? So your operations are also equally important. When you are developing a product and developing a process, you should keep all of this in your background and then design accordingly. Customer will be happy once his requirements are fulfilled. Similarly, you should also consider about the legal compliance. You can't run any business, you can't sell any product in any, in any particular land, whether it is India or Sweden or America or wherever. There are certain laws and regulations, isn't it? You have to meet legal compliance. Food product, FSSAI guidelines immediately comes. Those are also requirements. You can't expect your customer to tell all of this. Customer doesn't mind what you do, but he just wants high quality product. Similarly, your product, your business, the way you operate should not be harmful to the environment. We are all responsible to, keep the earth safe even for the, many generations to come. Yes or no? All are requirements. So that your business not only becomes profitable, but also succeed in the long term. You can scale it to any level you want. You can be a global, globally known company. You fulfill all of this. You forget to fulfill some of this, obviously, you will not reach the ultimate. You may feel some success. You may taste some success. You may be successful within your city. You may be successful within India. At some point of time, you will know your limitation. That's the time you will bring in more CTQs. Am I correct? Have I answered your question? Have I answered your question? Bharat Kumar, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right. So at the same time, this is little early to take a deeper question. As we progress, define, as we complete the define, you will have an absolute clarity. But right now, this is only a basic introductory session. Now I want to do a small exercise with all of you so that I can also test whether you all have understood correctly. So let's do a small exercise right now to understand whether the concept of DPMO is received clearly. Hope you're all advised to buy a 5 rupees GEMS chocolate pack. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
You can show me the pack, and so that we'll define certain defects, and then we'll calculate DPMO. Then we calculate sigma level. We just now know that when the defect level is lesser than 3.4, then the sigma level is 6 and above. So hope all of you have that, the GEMS. I'm just opening an Excel file from my side. I will also share this Excel file in the WhatsApp group, and so that you can also learn from it at your free time.
ती अडकते ती नको हलव मधली
So hope all of you can see
परत
my
येताना नाके न होतात नको आण
Excel file should be visible. And now I have a tab, a sheet, which is meant for the GEMS experiment. You all can see GEMS exercise for DPMO. Lot of calculations here. You all can see lot of calculations, but this is very simple. The moment you understand anything, properly, the basics are clear. You can calculate DPMO, you can calculate sigma level for your product, your business. Now this is GEMS. And what is our understanding? The first thing we should do is we should define defects. Am I right? First thing is define defects. Can one of you tell me what is a defect? Is there any definition that exists for a defect?
If
Is there any
Gems are
definition?
gems is
Quality.
broken, those kind of.
A defect is a deviation from a set quality or an agreed or
Ah.
agreed quality.
Any deviation from the requirement. Any deviation from the requirement. You can also call it non-conformance. In ISO, you used to record it, isn't it? Non-conformance report. So any form of non-conformance to the requirement. Customer has declared this is the requirement, but there is a deviation. Then that deviation should be recorded as a defect. So any form of non-conformance, right, that may present in your product is known as a defect. A product can have n number of defects, right? And now for the sake of GEMS exercise, the product is GEMS. So let us define certain thing. So yeah, let us define certain things. So what is that? So there are several possible defects, several defects possible in a GEMS chocolate. Hope all of you agree with me. But we are, for the sake of simplicity, we are going to consider only 5 types of defects. 5 types of defects, right? So defect opportunities is defined as 5. There can be more in reality. Please don't confuse, right? There can be more in reality, but we are going to limit our discussion to 5. The first characteristics that is expected in a GEMS is the count of the chocolates inside. Am I right?
Yes.
If it is a pack of 10 chocolates, then exactly 10 should be inside. The first defect opportunity is count. The second defect opportunity, the chocolates should remain undamaged. If the chocolates are broken into small pieces, probably no, we don't want it that way. So that is another defect opportunity. All of you understand the second defect also? You all are going to work as a quality engineer now, quality manager. You are going to test it, right? The third type of defect, we expect the shape of each gem to be circular, round. We don't want oval shape. We don't want sharp corners. We don't want square and rectangles. We want round. Hope it is clear. The fourth one, color. We know there will be multiple colors inside, but we don't want the color. We don't want to see the colors getting mixed up. Am I right? Red color falling on blue color and yellow color mixing it with red or other colors. We don't want. Suppose if the colors are faded, that also we don't want to see. Am I right? So faded colors, mixed up colors are known as color defects. Now finally comes the interesting part of the test. Test whether the gems are tastier. So taste, again, you may have to consume one of the 10 pieces or all of them if you want. And you just have to decide whether the gems is tasty or not. So 5 different characteristics you are going to test. 5 different characteristics you are going to test. Not everything is a number, ladies and gentlemen here. Not everything is a number here. Count is a number. CTQ is in a perfect format. But crack, will you be able to measure the crack? Do you have an instrument which can measure the intents of crack? We really don't need that right now, isn't it? We don't want it here. Just a visual inspection. Are there any crack initiated? Are there any damages within a gem, or the gem is broken into pieces? You can just count again. This is called a weaker way of measuring. Sometimes if you have an instrument and you measure exactly the diameter, that is an accurate measurement. But here you are only detecting the presence of a crack, isn't it? If somebody asks you, can you give me a numerical figure? You may not be able to. That means your measurement is little weak here, but even then it is enough for my project. Right? And then the third one, shape. Do you have an instrument to measure the shape?
No.
Or do you want to use it? A vernier caliper to check whether the diameter is equal in throughout the circumference. No, we don't want.
Not required.
So visual inspection will do. So data can be collected in two ways. One is in a most accurate way. The other one is just at the required level. Most accurate way demands, some sophisticated measuring instrument. But if little inaccuracy is not going to be a problem, visual inspection. Now color also you don't want any measuring instrument or testing instrument, just visual inspection. Your eye is the instrument, best instrument that God has given. That can be used as, any instrument according to the requirement. And finally, taste. The instrument is your mouth and tongue. If the tongue says, yes, it is good, yes, it is good. Now you all can do this little exercise yourself. Maybe you can, this or the occasion you can come on video, we can watch what exactly you are doing, and others can also watch. And please come on video and then cut to open your gems. And then you can literally count your gems to check whether it is 10 or not. Anything above is a defect, anything below is also a defect. And then similar, note down in a piece of paper how many defects you are able to notice with respect to these 5 CTQs. And in the same order I have written. You should also write it down in a notebook, and I will collect the data from some of you. Maybe some 10 to 15 people can volunteer and give me your data. And people who are on the video will be given the preference. I think this batch, we don't have any problem. Always people are ready to, interact. So I will type down certain names, preferably everyone on the video. I'll type. And you can do the exercise parallelly. We have Sendil Ganesh. Shyamal Ghosh.
Teams count is good for me.
Yeah, I will come to you. I'll come to you. Let me pick your names first. Then I have Parag. Parag, I have there. Satish Kumar. 12 people. But okay, I do have Reshma, Santosh. Okay, so I think I have picked up all your names. Anyone I have missed? I think Santosh also, Rohit I just have to add. So I think we'll go with these 15 quality inspectors.
Can you exclude me? I don't have gems here. Sudhakar.
Okay, no problem. All right, no issues. If you have gems, we'll collect your data. All right, so let me go in the same order. Please give me your data in the order I have prepared the table. Count. So, Mr. Sendil, do you have any problem with the count, or is it perfect for you?
It is perfect. It looks
Perfect.
fine.
Color, do you notice any issue with respect to the color?
Yes, one gem is faded.
Okay. And crack,
I
do
can
you
separate it.
any
Yes,
crack?
four cracks.
4 cracks. And shape,
Everything looks good.
everything looks good. How about the taste?
Yet to test.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that.
All
So
right, sure.
please do that and let us know whether it is tasting well.
You can take mine, Reshma.
Yeah. Let me
I
try-
tested all.
I'll come to you. I'll definitely come to you. So taste is good, sir. Taste is good, right?
Oh, yeah. Good.
Yeah, let me go in the same order and then definitely I'll take yours. So Shyamal goes. Are you ready first?
Because you will be tested.
Shyamal goes.
माझ्याकडे 2 क्रॅक आहेत त्याचं काय नाही.
It is count is 11.
Count करणार नाही.
Count is 11.
Yeah.
Count
Okay.
11 extra मिळालं याला.
There is a problem, right? One
Yes,
extra.
problem. One extra.
Extra. Very good. And color?
It's a good problem to have.
Color is okay. Color 0. There is no defect.
For
And
the-
problem.
for
Crack?
concept.
crack is 1. One crack I found.
Crack 1. Shape?
0.
Taste?
And taste you can take it 0 because I didn't check it all the 11, but you can take it 0.
हा
Yeah, you can
इथे
check.
वरती कॉर्नरला लावले साईड.
You don't have to,
अरे
consume all.
इथे उजव्या बाजूला मोठा कप्पा आहे तिथे लावले ना.
Just taste one and then decide. Okay, Neeraj, can I have your data?
Yeah. So count wise, it has no defect.
Okay,
Or
color?
same color. Color wise also it's okay. No defect. I have 3 cracked pieces.
Okay,
Same. Shape wise okay, no defect. Taste wise no defect.
I think people by now understood the procedure. Just give me these 5 numbers with you don't have to worry about, you don't have to explain which is what. Just tell me like this, 00300, that's all. Right? So Narmada, can you give?
Count is 0, sir.
Okay,
Color
zero.
is 2.
Color 2,
0 cracks, but shape is not correct.
no. Are there any defects? Yeah, tell me the numbers.
Yeah, the shape is a problem.
Okay, how many?
1.
Only one.
Yeah.
Taste?
Taste is good.
Taste is good. Thank you. Then we move with Shambhu.
Yeah, so count is 10. No. Color, 1 color is faded. Crack, 9 are crack in 10.
Mhm.
Shapes are good. Taste good.
Shape good, huh?
Yeah.
Shape and taste, 0, right?
0.
All right. So Lakshmi madam, you can just give me pass the 5 numbers. That's enough. Now that people have understood. Yeah, please unmute yourself.
Crack 1, remaining all 0.
0, only 1 crack, 0.
Remaining 1.
All right. Then Parag,
Yes. Crack 4. One issue with the color.
please
Remaining.
follow the order. Otherwise, I will get confused again. So crack,
Okay.
count,
Count okay. Color 1.
color 1, crack
Yeah.
4,
Crack 4. The rest is okay.
rest is
Okay.
okay. Very good. Yeah, please remember the order and just convey the number. That's enough. Babuji.
Count -1, only 9.
Oh, -1 here. Very good. -1.
Crack 3.
3.
Color 0.
Crack 3.
Shape 6.
6. Taste.
Taste okay, 0.
Oh, should be okay. Very good. So here we need to understand there is a shortage. It's a defect. I want to account this defect. So I am putting it as 1. So that the total defects reported is 10. Isn't it? -1 doesn't mean, absence of a defect. Actually, there is a defect. But one shortage that we need to note it separately. Aryan Kumar, right?
Arun Kumar.
Sorry, Arun Kumar. I have
Yeah.
typed wrongly and then now reading wrongly. Yeah. Yes, Arun Kumar.
00110.
Very good. I want it this way. 0, and then 1, 1, 0. Time. It is now, the process has now become lean. All of you, can you see that? The process has now become lean. The lead time to complete the entire process has come down drastically. Thank you, Arun Kumar, immediately implementing the lean principle. Now, Devapriya.
0, 1, 2, 1, 0.
Very good. This is also lean. And then Sudhakar.
But I did not get gems. I got something else here, which is more than 10. So I should exclude myself from the sampling.
Okay, you can enjoy that throughout the course. Right? I just consider your pack is all right.
Yeah.
No defects. Sadish.
It's 03311.
0, 3, 3, 1.
1.
1 means you don't like the taste.
Yeah, and found to be bad.
Now, do you want to assume everything as bad or do you want to try out one more? Sampling, sometimes, double sampling is required, double sampling, triple sampling.
Already I ate one packet, sir.
So according to you, everything is bad. I marked 10 as taste problem. Now, Reshma,
0, 0, 1, 0, 0.
0, 0, 1, 0, 0. Very good. Then we need to go with Santosh.
0, 2,
0,
2,
2,
2, 0, 0.
0, 2,
0, 0.
and then again 2, 0, 0. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, I'm having the same color in 5 quantities. So can I consider as color defect? Out of 10, 5 are having same color.
Out of 10, 5 are having?
Same color.
I think your voice is echoing. I'm
Same
not
color.
Oh,
Same color. Out of
all
10,
having same color. Okay, no problem. Same color. Okay, let us accept. So color issue, but still you reported 2. Should I make it 0?
Yeah.
Okay, same color. Okay, we can accept that. Now Rohit, moving on to Rohit.
Yeah, 1, 0, 4, 0, 0.
All right. So now we
Sir,
consider.
one doubt I have.
Yes, madam.
This crack is there, right? For crack cases, the shape will be changing, right? Whether that needs to be put in that column also.
So this, all of this must be, that means every defect requires an operational definition now. Defect requires an operational definition. So we all should have the same understanding about every defect. Otherwise, our data will become an useless data. Yes or no? That's very, very important. So now this is only an exercise. We don't have to worry too much about it, but you should really be worried in your project. All right. So right now we are going to bother about it. Let's, have it is as it is. But here, imagine how many people participated?
15.
15 people. That means we opened 15 packets. When we opened 15 packets, how many units we checked actually?
10 into 15. 150.
150. There was one extra also, no?
10. And in one packet, our
10.
said there is only 9. If you want to be a little more accurate, you can put 149 here.
One was having 11.
One was excess also. So it makes 150.
Equalized.
Yeah.
Actually, I have
Count
11, so I think you can make it 150.
Oh, you want to make it 150? Yeah, okay. No problem. This is only understanding the DPMO calculation. Now, totally how many defects reported? For that, I should go to the totals column. You can see the H column talks about the total defects reported. You all can see. Sendil Ganesh reported 5, Shamala reported 2, and likewise. So what should I do now? Sum of all this data. When I calculate some certain value using the data, the calculated value is known as statistics. Hope all of you now got to understand what is statistics. If I calculate something using my data, the calculated value should be called as statistics. In this case, it is total. So totally how many defects reported? Tell me, 70, right?
70.
Now I want to calculate something called defects per unit. Even though our goal is to understand DPMO, I am introducing one more tool so that you can, you can use all of this tool in your workplace. Defects per unit. Can anyone help me how to calculate this? Let's little max. Knowledge is required.
Defects reported divided by units inspected.
150 divided by 70.
Number of defects divided by number of units.
Total inspected.
Defect divided by inspected.
Very
70
good.
divided by 150.
Very simple question, right? So defects reported is 70, units inspected is 150. When I divide that, what is defects per unit? 0.4666. All of you, can you see that?
Yeah.
When you go to some company, suppose you go for some audit or somewhere, people use different units. This is how they all arrive. Here right now it is defects per unit. Sometimes people say defects per 100 unit. You might have come across, right? Defects per 1000 unit. PPM. These are all different formats, but finally, giving the same meaning. Now, right now, we measure the performance using a metric. You can even call it as a tool known as DPU. Now, I want to calculate DPO. DPO means defects per opportunity, right? And defects per opportunity, we all know it is 5. But how many packets we opened?
15.
15 packets, totally 150 gems we have checked. If one gem can have 5 defect opportunity,
15 25
total
750.
defect opportunity 150 gems will have 750. How can I get this?
150 into 5.
Into 5.
Opportunity per gem multiplied by total number of gems inspected. That is giving me 750. All of you are with me? So total opportunity is 750 and number of defects reported is 70. Now I want to calculate something known as defects per opportunity. So numerator is defects, denominator is total opportunity. So
70 by 7.
very good. Defects is 70. Divided by total opportunity is
750.
70 divided by 750 gives me 0.09333333. This is known as defects per opportunity. If one apple is 1 rupee, what will be the cost of 1 million apple?
Into 1 million.
1 million rupee. Defects per opportunity is 0.09. What is defects per million opportunity? Multiply by 1 million. So how can I multiply by 1 million? Take the defects per opportunity, multiply by 10 to the power of 6. 10 to the power of 6 means you must add 6 zeros, 1 and then followed by 6 zeros, or otherwise 10 to the power of 6. Now what is the DPMO? 93,333. All of you, do you now understand how to calculate DPMO? Will you be able to calculate DPMO for your product, for your service? First thing to know is the CTQs or defect opportunities. How things can go wrong. For example, in an online training program, what will be the DPMO? I want to measure the DPMO in an online training session. Session number 1, what is the DPMO? I want to know. What are the defect opportunities? Network failure, right? And trainer is not, talking the subject properly. That is second defect. And there are many other things we can define. So accordingly, DPMO can be calculated in any scenario, whether it is a hospital, pharma laboratory, or it's a supply chain scenario, whatever it is, you can define and then calculate. Now, 93,333. Is this performance Six Sigma performance?
No.
What is our definition of Six Sigma performance?
3.4 defects.
Less than 3.4.
Less than 3.4. Where is 3.4 and where are we? Far, far away from that, isn't it? Far away. There is an enormous scope for improvement exists. But your CTQs must be genuine CTQs. What you are worried about, your customer should also worry about. If there is a mismatch, then all these principles will not help your business. You may not see these principles working in your business. For example, exactly with the gems, Sigma level is very bad. Let me calculate the Sigma level. See, I have now come to another sheet, which is named as Sigma level calculator. Here I am going to type. What is the DPMO we just now calculated? 93,333. I just type and then enter this. Immediately it is giving me a Sigma level value. Can you all see that? Sigma level 2.82. Bracket short term ST. Another Sigma level LT, which is 1.32. For Gems chocolate, do you need are you concerned about short-term performance or long-term performance? See, sometimes, long-term. Sometimes we are concerned only about short-term performance. but sometimes we are concerned about long-term performance. Yes or no? Accordingly, you can use the template. Right now, let me say I am concerned about long-term performance. Look at my sigma level. Very, very low, 1.32. But short term, it's somewhat better. How to derive the short term or long term? If you calculate one, the other can be calculated immediately. Which one will be higher? Your short term performance will be better or long term performance will be better? Which will be better in terms of performance, short term or long term?
Short term.
Short term.
So always your short term sigma level will be higher than the long term. You can see that here. 1.32. When I add 1.5 to 1.32, I get 2.82. But how to use, collect the data and how to actually calculate, you have to wait for some more time, right? Maybe at a later stage, we'll be discussing in deeper. That time, you know how to, what all the calculations behind short term and long term. Right now, the calculations are taken care by Excel sheet. Now, the short term sigma level is 2.82. Long term sigma level is just 1.32. Sigma levels are bad. But how is GEMS making business? The Mondelez India and the Cadbury, they are the companies, right? They produce and then market GEMS. How is their business going on? Is it profitable?
Yeah, very much.
Highly profitable, isn't it? But sigma levels are bad. The principle is not working. Why? Your CTQs are not defined properly. The same thing will happen in your project also. With the GEMS example, it's a good scenario. Sigma levels low, but business is profitable.
We'll get into
But
the
some-
formula as well. Of
Yeah. You will get it. But right now, you will get the template.
Mr. Kaval, I have a question. Let's say it is you are saying 1.32 and 2.82 6 sigma level or the 1 sigma or something asking for? It is
1.32 means 1.32 sigma level.
okay.
2.82 means 2.82 sigma level. But there is a difference between the two terminology. One is short term sigma level, other one is long term sigma level.
Yeah, I'm
See,
telling you,
always these things are possible, right? Short term.
Short term means any specific duration or sample size.
Have you ever used the same terminology while talking with your family members, short term, long term?
Planning,
Used, right?
short-term planning, long-term planning, budget, those kind of things, savings plan.
There is no specific answer to a generic question. There is a specific answer only to a specific question. Right?
Actually, I just
generally in planning, if you plan for 3 to 5 years, then it is long-term plan. If you any plan, just for 3 months or to just 1 year, then it is a short-term plan. In planning, the definition of short-term and long-term is this. We all know.
Sir, can I come?
Goal.
Can I come into picture?
Oh, yes.
Mr. Shyamal, this is a question from you. Yes or no?
Yes. Actually, I would ask you with 3.4 defects per million as per 6 sigma. Na? So it is right now saying 2.82 or 1. It is much better than 3.4. So it should be accepted, I think, as per my understanding.
See, you are confusing. Sigma level and DPMO, you are confusing. See, we want all of you to become, very laser focused, even while talking. Isn't it? You are using both terminology and expecting us to differentiate.
Actually, you are showing sigma, so I am just confusing with the DPMO with the sigma. So I am just going through the sigma also. That particular things I am thinking that particular.
We never said DPMO is sigma level. DPMO is different, sigma level is different. 3 points, if the performance is lesser than 3.4, that's the time your sigma level will become 6. If you want to see that, I should type 3.4 here. Shall I do that?
Yeah.
What happens to the sigma level?
6 and 4.5. Yes.
You are able to see the 6 sigma when the DPMO is 3.4. It doesn't mean that DPMO and sigma level are same. No. All right.
Yes. Understand.
So for 93,333, sigma level is 2.82. So sigma levels are bad, but business is highly profitable. The big reason behind is you have used the wrong CTQs. Whatever you defined as defects or not defects, some of them maybe. Am I right? Some of them are not defects to your customer. Who are the customers for GEMS? None of you.
Children's.
Kids.
Probably less than 10. None of you used to consume GEMS on a daily basis or weekly basis or monthly basis. Rarely, just because we asked you to buy, you purchased it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have purchased. So you are not the ideal target audience. The survey is done with the wrong set of samples. This is first of all a sampling error. There is a big sampling error.
But if
And
we look
another
at
thing
the
is,
ads of the GEMS, we always see adult people, being targeted in the ads of GEMS.
That's probably because adults have to pay for the gyms.
yeah. And another mistake we have done is we have included some wrong CTQs, unnecessary CTQs. Kids don't check in this manner.
Sir, can I come?
They should have consumed yesterday itself. They wouldn't have brought it for the training. So
Can I
you all
come, sir?
behaved as very, very matured adults. That's why you carried the gems till this moment. Yes, RK sir, you can also add.
Yes. So how many mistakes you have made? How many mistakes?
Sampling error, wrong CTQs,
Yeah, wrong CTQs, number one.
wrong sampling error.
Sample size.
Sample size.
Yeah.
Sample size also is, sample also is wrong. Sample size also is wrong. Okay, 3 mistakes. Sample should not be you. Sample should be my children and your children. Correct? Sample should be the children, not adults. Sample size is 15 is not sufficient. Okay. Sample size calculation is another tedious subject. We will see later. But there are 3 mistakes we have made here. One is sample selection, sample size selection, and 3 is CTQ selection. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. What is very, very important is always when you generate data, when you collect data, ask yourself, is this data sufficient? Number one. Is this data sufficient for conclusion? That is sample size. Is this data credible enough and worthy enough for analysis? If it has sampling error, if it has measurement error, the data is not worthy for any analysis. So you need to overcome all of this while working in a Six Sigma project, because Six Sigma project is mostly data driven. It relies heavily on data. So data should be credible and data should be worthy. Yes,
Sir,
Mr.
Suresh Kumar. Suresh Kumar, you have any doubt? Please ask.
Sir, yes, I have one doubt. That you mentioned at the sigma level. The sigma level is meaning to the CP or CPK basis.
This question must be parked till day number 3 or day number 2. So this is a little advanced question. CPCPK. We have to explain. I think the last team, when they are trying to introduce, you remember RK did not explain what is CPCPK. He's just skipped it. I think intentionally he did that. Yes or no? One team with the CPCPK they introduced. CPCPK, first of all, we need to understand, we have not discussed so far. Right? They are known as process capability indices. We must thoroughly understand that so that we can have a healthy discussion about it. We have not done that. That's the reason why I want you to park it. But there is a relationship DPMO has got with the sigma level. Am I right? When DPMO is very high, what will happen to sigma level? It will come down.
Below. Sir, can I come?
Just a second, sir. Similarly,
please, Narmada Krishnamurthy, you can ask now. I'll just give an explanation. Sigma level is called performance. Performance should be high. Yes or no?
Yes.
So sigma level should be high. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
And sigma is called deviation. Deviation should be low. Yes or no?
Yes.
Again, sigma.
So if deviation is low, performance level is high. If deviation is low, Z level will be high. Right? Keep this in mind. We will see later on more on this. Yes, Narmada, please ask.
Sir, you just said that it's mostly a data-driven decision, the
Yes.
process and all these things. So a little while back, you talked about measuring the effectiveness of training, wherein you came up with certain CTQs. So
Yeah.
those are CTQs that we can perceive. So let's
Yes.
say there is a training where this activity is not there. So a different group is going through the same training without the GEMS activity, and their effectiveness will be different in the absence of an activity. So when we have data, yes, we have certain parameters that we can measure, but in the absence of a parameter, how do we go about measuring the effectiveness or anything?
Can I answer, sir?
Yes, sir.
See, what you are saying is that there are two ways I can observe this question. One is there are two groups. In one group, GEMS experiment is not at all done. In another group, GEMS experiment is done. Right? This is exactly the question we are trying to answer. Find out, are they from the same group or are they from the different group? So what we will get the answer is, we will take only one sample, about 10 people, 20 people, and then we will find out the performance is not same. Right? Then we want to find out what is the reason behind it, root cause. This comes the next question. Then we will find out the reason is that there the experiment was activity was not done. In this course, activity was not done. Then what we will do? Then the solution. The solution is that activity is essential. From then onwards, activity will always be included in the course. Right? This is how the project goes. First of all, we want to find out the performance, CTQ. CTQ means for this group performance, for the other group performance. Are they same? Or if they are same, no, then P value will be higher. P value will be greater than 0.05. Then what is the decision we are taking? It is okay. You take the activity or you don't take the activity, performance is same. So we need not conduct GEMS experiment. But instead, we can use it for some other useful activity. Right? So that is the decision we are taking. Or we can continue with the activity, right? Because that is only a rare change. By chance only it was different. The performance difference was only by chance, not because of this activity. And that is the decision we are taking. We continue to go ahead. That is the decision. Or else, if P value is low, then there is a cause. The cause is significant, and the cause is nothing but the activity. Thank you
So
very
all
much.
of you, have you understood the discussion right now? Narmada madam has asked a question and RK sir has answered the question. Have you got enough clarity now about the question as well as the answer communicated? I mean, the reply communicated. There is a lag. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
I have a view, sir. Actually,
You
there
want
was
to
a question that there are two teams, one with the statistical data, means one with the activity, one without activity. So one with the activity, actually the very objective was to actually have extract the statistical data to define CTQs and arrive at a DPMO. Finally, to see whether we are actually doing the understanding the concepts. A team without any statistical data, maybe with only theory, we will not be able to achieve anywhere. So I think there is fundamentally a lot of difference. So one with the activity, though all the activities are given by you and RK sir, actually it was not selected by the participants. But here the objective was that we collect statistical data, define CTQs, define all the parameters which are required to arrive at a healthy Six Sigma. That's what my understanding was, and I think based on the whatever is the result, we can interpret whether it is a good Six Sigma, or whether it adheres or there is a deviation. Yeah.
All right. So when we say,
Sir, can I come, sir?
Yes.
One important thing that you have to notice is that whatever be it, finding the problems or finding the causes or finding the solutions, you have to prioritize and do it one by one. All together, you cannot do it. Right? Thank you.
One more time, I would like to underline, we should always have the clarity in differentiating the problem, the solution, and the causes. If you're not good at it, sometimes you may try to communicate a message and the other person will understand the other way. We are talking about training effectiveness. We are talking about having a GEMS exercise. We are talking about DPMO. Are we connecting all of this properly? What is training effectiveness? How can we measure training effectiveness? That is the metric we all should focus on, isn't it? If that metric is not appreciable, that's a problem. training effectiveness will definitely get reflect in your pass percentage. Am I right?
Yeah.
If training is not effective, many people will fail. And similarly, your test mark itself, not just passing or failing, the test mark, actual mark can be a better indicator, right? The average score of all the participants. That is an indicator we are going to look at to understand the training effectiveness. And if there sometimes just to understand the training effectiveness, you may have to look at multiple metrics, not just the average mark. Sir, no. Not just the average mark. Multiple CTQs are required. So these are all your output variable. These are all your output variable. You want the output to be fruitful. Now input variable. What are inputs that are required to produce the desired outcome, which is, the training effectiveness? The GEMS exercise. GEMS exercise is an input, am I right?
Yep.
It's an input. And our interaction, allowing the participants to
Materials.
interact. So giving the right examples, giving the right visuals, limiting the usage of the words to keeping it simple. These are all the input factors that can influence your output. And one of the participants has given a nice example in the chat box, Narmada. What is that? Participants' feedback can also speak about training effectiveness, isn't it? So we should always know whether we are talking about the output or talking about the input. We always see we should understand the problem by looking at the output. We always look at the input to understand the cause. We always derive solution from the input only. So this clarity is required, and that is what the foundation session is all about. I'm going to talk about, right? But the session is so interactive that we are not even able to progress, to the next level. But anyway, I still appreciate that. But then, this clarity has to happen as we progress, and it's okay if we spend more time in the foundation session. And then we can finish very fast all the rest of the thing. I think now the DPMO is clear, Sigma level is clear. The Sigma level calculator also, I'm going to share with all of you. You can also do the calculation for your product. If you do anything, we are suggesting, then you can share it with us privately or in the WhatsApp group, or you can even post it, wherever you want it. Now, next concept. I want all of you to gain a thorough clarity on the word operational excellence. What is operational excellence? Have you ever used this word in your business meetings? Have you used it?
Yeah.
Many
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what do we actually mean by operational excellence?
So when the process has been set and the protocol has been implemented and it's going smooth, when the process is going smooth with the effectiveness, we need to implement such things to do the things more than better way in terms of reducing cost, increasing efficiency, giving wow related kind of stuff. So those stuffs are operational excellence. It's the next layer of more than 100%.
Very good.
Optimum use of resources, the processes with the process.
Yeah. It is
Fantastic.
running a process.
Least variations in the process.
Yeah.
Reduce variations in the process. Very good.
It is
All are
running a
correct answers, but still all of us should come to the same line, isn't it? Let's try to use
0
minimum
to 0.
and
Within
then
short time, everything has to be implemented.
short time, everything has to be.
It is running an activity with the minimal cost and less wastage with the higher profits.
Very good. So first of all, let us break the word operational excellence. One side is operation, the other side is excellence. What are operations?
Step-by-step process.
Step-by-step process. Can I say
Execution.
our daily activities or operations?
Our daily activities, execution.
How your factory, how your shop floor starts a particular shift, and then what they are doing throughout the shift. They are called operations. Clear?
Correct.
So operations are very clear now. And What do we mean by excellent? Have you ever, received this appreciation from your teacher saying that excellent, my boy?
Excellent work.
That's different.
When did your teacher, use that word to you?
Actually, there should be some performance metrics based on which we can give it the operation excellence excellent in nature.
Very good. Always there will be some metrics. In order to say, not to differentiate, always there will be a metric. Suppose if your performance is outstanding within a classroom in comparison to all other students in a classroom, the teacher would have appreciated you by saying that excellent, my boy, isn't it?
Yes.
So now, with whom you want to compare your organization's performance?
With competitors.
Your competitors, beautiful. So you should know your competitors. You should know your competitors. With respect to the competitors, are you better? At least operationally. At least operationally, are you better? What is operationally? How am I spending my day? God has given me 24 hours. I sleep for 8 hours. And remaining 16 hours. How am I spending this? You also have same 24 hours. Maybe you may also sleep for 8 hours. So remaining 60 hours, how do you spend and how do I spend? We both are competitors. If I spend better, today you may be great, but definitely in the future, who will be great? Tell me. The one who is spending time
You're
effectively.
spending effectively.
This is the logic. This is the foundation principle. Your child today is the last student in the class. But your child understood this principle. Right? Your child wanted to spend every day in a productive manner. What will happen to your child's performance? It will improve, isn't it? Within few months, your child will start outperforming some of the other students. And within few years, you will see your child scoring rank number 1, first rank. Yes or no? Because every single day, the child is spending in a very productive manner, much better than the other students are spending the day. All of them, they waste the time watching cartoons and then, doing unnecessary things. But your child is, well disciplined and managing the time very nicely, giving a lot of importance to the goal. Maybe studies sometimes, maybe profit sometimes, maybe health sometimes. Anything that you want, if you prioritize and if you strive to achieve excellence, you will definitely see the result. This thinking is known as operational excellence. And typically in a real-time environment, it is not just one man's job. There are thousands of people working, isn't it? You want to take care of your health? Will you be able to take care of your health? Looks possible. But cooperation and support of your family members is very, very important. Without which, you can't even take care of your own health, isn't it? You wanted some good drink, but the soda is available. And obviously, our environment can influence heavily, isn't it? So, how can we correct the environment? How can we correct all the people around or all the people in the environment so that as an organization, we become operationally excellent? This concept is known as operational excellence. This can definitely get results for your company in a span of 3 to 5 years. If you believe in it, you have understood operational excellence. And many companies used this strategy and they have become number 1. They have become number 1 in the market. 3 years is good enough. Ladies and gentlemen here, 3 years is good enough, or at the max, 5 years is good enough to make your company number 1 in the market. But you should have the clarity on what do you want to achieve. What is your market? Who are your competitors? And then if you think in this manner, definitely you can make your company number 1. This thinking and this approach is known as operational excellence. Now you can read the definition of operational excellence. Operational excellence is the execution of business strategy consistently and reliably better than the competition in terms of quality, in terms of productivity and in terms of cost with lower operational risk, leading to increased revenue and profit relative to the competitors. All of you, do you now understand operational excellence? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Your child is a backbencher, no rank, failing in all the subject. But 3 years from now, the wish is your child want to become first ranker. And it is 100% possible. 100% possible. 3 years can definitely can get you the breakthrough you are looking for. All that required is strategic alignment of your resources, the activities, and all the efforts should go in the particular direction. And 3 years from now, you all can reach your ultimate health. You can reduce your age at least by 10 years. Dramatic improvement is required, yes or no? Possible. And with the support of all your family members, you can definitely make some good changes, and then that is possible. The same thing is known as operational excellence. So Lean and Six Sigma will give you set of principles which you can blindly follow to make your company operationally excellent, right from the moment. Right from this moment, the set of principles Lean and Six Sigma will bring can be used if followed, can slowly make you, become operationally excellent. Right? It's not only set of principles, it gives you a clear methodology. Always people like step-by-step approach, isn't it? Nobody want to jump mountains, but all of them are ready to walk. So step-by-step methodology. Lean Six Sigma is a methodology, and it gives set of tools and techniques with the help of the principles. Principles are nothing but past learnings, past experience, understanding of the nature. They are principles, isn't it? Well proven strategies, they are principles. If something is well proven, why do you want to reinvent the same wheel? Follow it. That will make your company number 1 in 3 years. Lean Six Sigma is an operational excellence philosophy and set of principles, methodology, tools and techniques that can boost profitability, market share, and customer satisfaction with a strategic focus on quality. All of you understand what is Lean Six Sigma?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think with this, we have come to the lunch time, but we will just finish off this operational excellence concept and then move for the lunch. And this is what many companies have done. And one standing example is Reliance Jio. Hope all of you are having a Jio network, Jio SIM in your phone inserted, isn't it? If you are not having it, then somebody will ask you why you are not having it, right? To that extent, Jio has penetrated. You see, in the year 2016, who is the market leader in the mobile company? Yeah.
Airtel.
Here, Bharti Airtel. And the second dominating company is
Vodafone.
Aircel
and Vodafone.
Yeah, 2016. And the other players, they were holding a market share of 29%. And 2017, almost the same scenario. But market leader is, yes, Vodafone and Idea, isn't it? And now a new company known as Reliance Jio. Their vision is they want to become number 1. They want to see their network, mobile network, in the hands of each and everyone in India. That is their vision, isn't it? So with that vision, they started the company, and see here, the first year, they acquired a market share of 11%. Where from the market share will come? Will it come from some other planet? Customers are already there here, living here. They're all, with your competitors. You have to pull your customers from them. You have to be operationally excellent. Then only customers, will come to you. Your products have to stand out. Your products have to be better. They need a compelling reason to leave your competitor and then come to you. Can you find out 2 or 3 big reasons so that your customers will leave your competitors and then come to you? These 2 or 3 compelling reasons are known as strategies. These 2 or 3 reasons, big reasons. You have to announce it. You have to live it at least for a period of 3 to 5 years. If you don't live it, keep changing it, it simply reminds you that you don't have any strategy. And what was the strategy Jio followed? You all know, because you have left some network and then you joined Jio. You know which made you to come to Jio. What is the reason?
Internet.
Low
Yeah,
cost.
unlimited internet.
Quality service, am I right?
Low cost, yeah.
Low cost.
Quality service, and the other strategy is low cost. In fact, it is free.
Tariff.
It's free for you. 1 complete year. They are not happy. They stretched it for 1 more year. They had a big vision of making their company number 1. Making billions of dollars they want to make. That is also their big plan. But then 3 years, they know they have to invest rightly on the right strategies. They offered everything free. They lived it. And today all of us have 1 or 2 Jio SIMs, and all of us have their products in our house, in our office. And you see how steadily they grabbed the market share. 11% in the first year. And it has grown to 27% in the second year. The third year of the launch, their market share is 33%. Where from all of these have come? Some of them have come from
Reliance.
other players.
Vodafone and Reliance.
Vodafone and Airtel. Now
Competitions.
in Reliance Jio have become number 1 market leader, the real number 1 position in the market, and they continue growing. Can you see that? Somehow in the race, Airtel survived. Almost the same 30-32%, right? And this is what is required. So operational excellence is not a small task. Hereafter, when you are using the word operational excellence, you should keep all of these in the background. You must try to synergize everything that is possible in your environment. Even a small piece of resource, small piece of effort should be should get wasted. Everything should go in the direction of pushing your company towards making number 1. Such an aggressive campaign, if you can initiate, you can call it as an operational excellence drive. You start today, and 3 years later, your company should be in a better position in the market. All right. So it is an aggressive campaign, aggressive drive, where everyone's participation is very, very important. Company really requires some very good leaders to drive the campaign. Yes or no? If leaders are not present, and then how are you going to synergize? Then how are you going to identify the strategies? Whether the strategies are practiced properly or not. How are you going to derive KPIs? How are you going to derive metrics? How are you going to deploy all of this from the top level till the shop floor? And how are you going to monitor on a daily basis, hourly basis? If you can make all of this, perfectly deployed, why again, the rule of the nature, your company has to grow. The company has to grow, and definitely 3 to 5 years time, you will see a breakthrough improvement. Lean Six Sigma is an approach, operational excellence approach for achieving breakthrough improvement. Now tell me, how many projects are required to achieve this? Hundreds and thousands of projects, yes or no?
Yes.
And who will do that project? Do you have competent people in place, or do you want to make your existing people competent?
Existing people are competent.
Very good. That is why all of you are here. That is why companies should embrace Lean Six Sigma, should teach your people the set of principles, the methodology, set of tools and techniques, so that they can drive every project assignment into success. Every 3 months, 4 months, there will be a drastic improvement. And so in 3 years, 5 years time, your company will see significant growth in terms of market share, profit, can get doubled and tripled profit margin. The company can pay their employees better. So it's an inclusive growth. Customer gets the best of the product available in the market. At the same time, that is offered at a very competitive price. At the same time, your company enjoys a very thick margin, and everyone involved in the process, will reap the benefit, including the employees and the society at large. So this is what, in essence, how Lean Six Sigma, or when and where Lean Six Sigma is required. So if you want to ask yourself whether Lean Six Sigma is required for my company, then you think about it. If you also have similar desire, then Lean Six Sigma is required. If you think, no, I don't want to become number one, I'm okay with what I'm getting, then definitely it's not for you. It's not your bread and butter. You can just continue what you are doing, and then you will also be one of the player in the market. But if you want to be, in the top position, you want to see your company on top of the list, then definitely your company will embrace Lean Six Sigma. And that is what we are going to master in this course, but after our lunch break. So any questions before we go for the lunch?
The only question I was having in my mind was when we were talking about operational excellence, we were talking about comparing ourselves with the competitors, right?
Correct.
Thinking that how we will be having access to their data, whether how they are good or bad they are doing with their operations. How can we compare our operations numbers with their numbers?
Performance data normally available in an open source, isn't it? Yes or no?
You mean from the financial reports?
See, their products are available. Why don't you buy?
See, that is how any R&D is done on automotive industry. The competitors improves their car. For example, Nissan improves their car product by comparing or by doing the R&D on a Toyota. It's the same open strategy which is followed all over the industry. Only thing the product differs.
Yes. See, the products are available, readily available. You can compare your products against them, isn't it? And data about their market penetration and all of this should be available, isn't it? Yearly report, every company will be releasing certain reports, and you try your best to understand your position with respect to the competitors, right? So in order to understand where are you, you don't require each and every piece of information, isn't it? With respect to certain criteria, product features and market share, and isn't it? So you can measure your performance in comparison to your competitors in several ways. For example, how do we know how are we performing with respect to our competitors? Isn't it? We know how many people we are training every single year. Isn't it? See, suppose sometimes full data is not available, do a sample study. We are really blessed to have a good set of participants in our batch. There are about 40 to 50 people believing in us in a single batch. This itself is a great sign of our performance, yes or no? So give your best, do your best. Think wisely and then, make a comparison. If our batch size can become 200, what does it mean? Come on. We are preferred by many of the customers in the market, isn't it? That's why people are coming. Yes. So you find a way. Always, when you make your problem statement more specific, answer will come from you only. Don't expect others to give you the answer.
Yes, sir, I have a question. Yeah.
You should be the best doctor for your health. Yes. Doctors sometimes
I have a question, yes.
Never surrender. Yeah. Bharat, yes.
So now actually, as you said, when we are defining the strategies or OPEX strategies or the KPIs or the benchmarking, is it only based on the competitor data? In case of a niche market or in case of an upcoming trend, say for example, say EV, say something which is actually going to create a revolution. So how do we go about, how do we implement Six Sigma in that kind of an environment, which is like more of an say assumption actually, because we are going to base some current market conditions and also something which may happen in future. So how do we define the KPIs for that and metrics for that?
Good question. Ultimately, we want improvement.
Exactly.
You compare yourself with your competitors so that some reference is available. You derive motivation by seeing them performing better than you, isn't it?
Yeah.
We derive motivation and then we strive to go beyond. If competitors are already below us, or you are the monopoly, you don't have any competitor, then you can set a benchmark. Like Bill Smith and Michael Harry, they told 3.4 is achievable. You try. Isn't it 3.4 DPMO? Some past experience. So that should be applicable to our product also. So your past performance can become your reference for this year's performance. You will set a goal accordingly. Last year I achieved this much, so I will go for extra 10%, extra 20%. Always goal setting has to be smart. That has to be followed. If you can follow, if you can make your goal smart, then it's fairly enough. Make your goal specific, make it measurable, make it achievable, make it relevant, and then make it time bounded. If you can follow these principles, yes, that can be a good goal. And in order to make our goal statement, goals become smart, we do all of this. We study our competitor, we do benchmarking, we compare ourselves, how are we in the past and how are we today, and where do we want to be in the future. All of these are only to ensure our goals are smart enough. So you can use any technique that you are familiar with, and ultimately you come out with a smart goal.
Okay.
I have one thing.
Yes, sir.
So this is regarding DPMO calculation spreadsheet that you have shown.
Please. Yeah, please.
Still, I have some gap at there. So 3.4 is for DPMO calculation or Six Sigma?
3.4 is for DPMO.
DPMO, okay.
The goal for DPMO should be 3.4.
Okay.
So that your performance in terms of sigma level will become 6. To make your performance can be in terms of sigma level, in terms of DPMO, in terms of rejection rate, in terms of PPM, in terms of CP and CPK, all are having a connection. Right? So DPMO should be below 3.4, or otherwise your sigma level should be above 6. Both are same.
Okay. So
yes, sir.
anything is below
3.4, then
acceptable,
sigma level
right?
is above 6.
So it is acceptable, right?
Acceptable.
All
yes.
right. Thank you.
Sir,
Very
actually, since we're talking about DPMO and DPU, sir, actually this DPU, does it play a very critical role? I think that average is actually a little misleading. So when we take number of units and number of packets, as I said, 100 units of one DPU. So is there any theory behind actually arriving at a DPU? Means DPU, here we have taken every item, though the saleable quantity is one. Yeah.
If I know Bharat Kumar, I will talk about Bharat Kumar. If I know what is DPMU, I will use DPU. Defects per unit has got a meaning in it, isn't it?
Can I come?
Yes, sir, please.
Please note, it is depending upon the customer. If you take an Indian and American, right? You buy a car and an American buys a car. And after 1 year, American will throw that car away. But the Indian will not throw the car even if the tire punctures, that the mirror goes off, right? Even the steering is not working. So DPU varies from person to person. Some people may say that I can live with 100 defects per unit, per car. Some people will say that even there is one defect in the car, he will throw away the car, right? It is purely from the person to person perspective. Thank you.
Yeah, see, but you understand the meaning and then try to use it. Defects per unit has got some information in it. Defects per opportunity has got some information in it. Defects per million opportunity has got some information in it. As long as you can understand the information correctly, use it. If you don't understand and still use it, and you are confusing yourself as well as people around you. Right? So master it. Think about the DPU 10 minutes. If you are convinced, use it. That's what I told you. Some companies, they use defects per 100 units. They invented a new tool that has become now completely internal. During their discussion, they always refer to that. Defects per 100 units, how much? Defects per 100 units, how much? They are more comfortable with that. We are comfortable with DPMO. Many companies are comfortable with the PPM, parts per million. They put a big board outside, 0 PPM. What are you comfortable with? Please use it. Otherwise, only confusion will be left over. All are same. Right? If I improve the process, then only my DPU will improve. Then only my DPMO will improve. All right, I think we are good now.
Sir, in conclusion, the last sentence.
Yes.
In conclusions, defects lead to defectives. Defects lead to defectives. How many defects lead to defective is up to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. So, all right. I think we began well. All of you are able to travel with us, isn't it? And you are able to grasp the solid reason why you should master Lean Six Sigma. If this is not happening, then probably it will be a difficult job for you, diving deeper into Lean Six Sigma. But if you have derived enough motivation, and this is going to be an enjoyable learning journey for you. Learning not just for 6 days. You know the schedule is 6 days, but the learning is going to be complete 1 month. 6 days you will be with us on Saturday, Sundays. In between Thursdays. And even in the other time, we are going to continue the learning. That is how we are going to transform into a black belt. Otherwise, you will end up buying a certificate. There are 2 possibilities, right? So with that,